What's going on? The following show is called Life's a Botch. But I dedicate this to you, the one listening. No, not the wrestling fan. I'm talking about you, the non-fan. Yeah, you, the casual watcher. Maybe you know somebody or you know of somebody. Maybe you know a name or two, but you don't really watch wrestling. If you're the type of person that doesn't keep up with it, doesn't follow it, don't care for it, probably call it the F word, fake. Oh, yeah, that one. Or maybe you're the type that calls it theatrical, live theater. Or maybe you're the type that calls it just a nice rehearsal of tanglements of sorts. Well, the following show is dedicated to you. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, because you are about to go to school. Hey, start the show up, man. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? You already know what time it is. It's your boy. That's right, the one, the only, your favorite Prince of Botch, y'all. What's happening, man? Welcome to yet another episode of the Life's a Botch podcast. Your boy is the residential reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight Life's a Botch champion of the world. And I love it, baby. I love it. You know how we do. Always having fun on the show, man. I miss y'all. I thank y'all for y'all support, y'all love, man. This is what we do, and this is how we do it, man. Y'all know we like to bring guests on the show. Y'all know we like to have a great time, and no better time than the right time. So, hey, man, I just want to say thank y'all for y'all support. Always appreciate y'all for every episode that y'all support. Keep downloading, keep spreading the word, man, because we only going to keep having fun, and we going to bring the guests on to have more fun with. So this guest, I got to do this right. You know what I'm saying? I got to do this right because y'all know me, man. I'm the king of the intros right here, dog. So I got to do this for my boy. So let's see if I can do this on a rap style or something. Let me see. Well, y'all heard of Suplex City. Well, I introduce you to the dictator, the guy that takes what Suplex City made and he made it into Suplex Country. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about a guy so fly, so smooth, so swift. It's unlimited how he can catch you. You know what I'm saying? He'll catch you either way you want it, however you want to get it, however you want to flip it, pun intended. That's right. See, the guy I'm talking about right now, he a machine. But he ain't just a machine, y'all. You see, this a guy guaranteed because he's straight out of Atlanta, so he already know what's happening. My man that come to you because he ready and he the suplex assassin. And if you won't, I guarantee you, he'll bring you that hurt. Guaranteed 100% to give you all of this work. That's right. I'm talking about none other, ladies and gentlemen, than MLW's residential rising star face to soon run the place. I'm talking about none other than my man, my guy, Alex Kane.
Yo, that was fire, dude. I got goosebumps because no one ever says my line. You got to get all this work. So you saying it, I got goosebumps my damn self. That was great. I like that was great. I never would have thought about Suplex Country. I always went to Suplex Island, but Suplex Country. I might have to roll with that one. I might have to roll with that one because then nobody can be like, you over here doing the Suplex Island thing, but you already got Suplex City. I'm like, well, bitch, here's the country.
Here's the country. Tell them what's up.
Country.
It's a country, baby. We getting more than the city. We got the whole country down, bro. What's up? Because, I mean, you think about it, man. With countries, dog, like, there's so many little cities and towns within a country, bro. Like with your suplexes so unlimited and the way you hit them, like, come on, man. You gotta give them a country, dog. Like, come on, man. You know? So just a little song. I mean, hey, people who know me, that y'all know me, man. This is what I do. I do these intros. I give my talent them goosebumps. So I'm hey, any promotion out there that's hearing this right now, you best to sign your boy. Cause I'm telling you, I come up with this all on the fly. This ain't no script, son. This is all off the dome, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready. Sign me when you ready. You know what I'm saying? You know where to find you, boy. But anyway,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Somebody should definitely sign you.
My guy. Hey, much love, Alex. Much love. So let's chop it up, my guy. First and foremost, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, absolutely, brother. I mean, I can already tell from your vibes, man. You down to earth, absolutely for sure, and not one to break character. Don't worry, we'll get into character because I can tell from your character, man. You are really, really a no games type of person. You know what I'm saying? You come out there, game face, ready to work, and let them know what's up. You know.
It depends. If when I'm in match mode, yeah, I'm no games, no bullshit.
Yeah.
But like backstage or whatever, or maybe I'm cutting a promo, or maybe I'm slicing somebody up with the words, you know.
Yeah.
I like to have my fun. I like to have my fun. I'm definitely a multi-dimensional kind of person.
I love that. I love that. I love that. That's awesome, man. That's good to see. And I really appreciate anyone who could be like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they can show you like, oh yeah, I'm game face. I'm serious when you need me to be, but hey, I got some other sides to me. You know what I mean? You just gotta wait to see them right now. You know, and I like that. I like that a lot, man. So let's get into the base, man. This is what I like to actually. You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, before we even get into all this, y'all already know this is a segment like type of show. So there's only one segment that's fitting for something like this. And I gotta say, this is the part of the show where I like to introduce y'all to somebody you may or may not know. So if you're somebody that doesn't already know this, man, well, allow me to put y'all in the segment that I like to call Put Me Over. So, hey, yo, cue that sound bite real quick.
Okay. You know what? For once, I'm going to stop talking and chopping about myself, okay? You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to blab about you. I'm going to blab and I'm going to put my guy over, okay? Hey, yo, put me over.
Put me over. You already know what it is. We're going to put my boy Alex Kane over. Like I said, this man is the suplex assassin. He is a fast rising star right in the MLW promotion. Shout out to MLW. You know what I'm saying? You actually, believe it or not, are the second guest from MLW that I have interviewed on this show. The first being none other than my girl, my ace. Shout out to her. You know, she was actually my very first guest on this show when I got it off the ground. Shout out to Miss Selena De La Renta, because, you know, hey, man, that was so dope having somebody that was coming from that MLW tree, and it allowed me to get to know a lot more about MLW going forth, man. So, hey, my boy is the first male guest from MLW, second guest from MLW. So I love it, man. I love it. Let's talk about you for a sec, man, and let's get into the basics. Who is Alex Kane?
You know, some people call me the Mohawk master of the suplex. That's something MLW came up with, and I really do like it. But I'm a former two sport athlete in college, wrestling and rugby. So I've always been like a fan of like being hit hard or hitting other people hard. Hey. I was trained by AR Fox out of the WWE4. AR Fox is the man. If you don't know who AR Fox is, you need to go look up AR Fox. The man is a highlight reel unto himself.
Yes.
I've been wrestling for about, now 3 years. When I got signed to MLW, it was only 2 years. So I've been wrestling for 3 years, and I've just been taking every booking that I can, and every lesson that I possibly can, because I love to be challenged. Like if I can be in the ring with somebody who's better than me, like that makes my night. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to I'm trying to suplex people and hype people up at the same time.
I love it, brother. I love it, and that's definitely reminiscent of your style, man. Because when I see your style, I'm like, yeah, he definitely is. I get some vibes, and I'll tell you the vibes I get when I see your style. Like when I was watching, I was like, nah, we're gonna get into it. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is just off of observation. So when I saw your wrestling in ring style, I said, okay, I'm definitely getting Kurt Angle inspirations here.
Yep.
Definitely. Okay.
Yep.
Especially when the sleeves came up. I'm like, oh, that's so Kurt Angle. He's definitely a Kurt Angle mark for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
Kurt Angle inspirations. So then I also thought Suplex Assassin, no doubt, he is definitely a Taz fan. You gotta be. Yes, my boy Taz.
Damn right.
Hey, shout out to Taz, boy. Hey, it's always great to meet a Taz fan, because I've always been a fan of his style as well. I always felt like if I was in ring, that definitely would be a style I would definitely emulate. So I really love how you incorporate his suplexes. And I'm sure if you guys haven't had a chance to meet yet, I'm pretty sure when he meets you and he sees your style, he's definitely gonna applaud you for the suplexes you do.
Shit, sure. I hope he applauds me. Shit, I hope he's not like, oh, you're just gonna do my thing. I'm like, I mean, so it's cool. It's weird. It's like when I first started wrestling, like, I mean, I knew who Taz was, but like, I didn't. The inspiration of like throwing suplex didn't directly come from Taz off rip. It came from me wrestling Greco and freestyle in college. Where I was like, well, I definitely want this to be like in my thing. Yeah. But then I started like, because I only knew I didn't know if like ECW Taz at the time. I only knew of WWE Taz, and they kind of shit on him in WWE.
Yeah.
So Fox was like, yo, you should watch Taz. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch Taz or whatever. And then I started seeing more of his ECW stuff. And I was like, whoa, this man was a fucking monster. Yeah. This man was a fucking monster. Yes. The fact that it got to the point where they didn't call them suplexes anymore. They call them Tazplexes. That's crazy. That's crazy marketing right there.
Oh, yeah.
So like I do hope to meet him one day. I think he probably knows. Maybe he knows who I am. I don't really know. But like, I mean, I can't message him because he doesn't answer his DMs. But no, he's not. I do hope to one day meet him and talk to him and hopefully pick his brain. So I think that would be cool. I think the other vibes that I try to portray is like Shelton Benjamin, and not so much with his in-ring style so much, because I'm not that athletic. I mean, I'm athletic, but I'm not Shelton Benjamin.
I feel you.
He's a whole other class of athlete. But like I just like my favorite run of his was the Gold Standard run, because he just had like this swagger and this confidence about him. Yes. And like, so I try to emulate that swagger or whatever. That's really helped me out. Yeah. I'm glad that I've gotten away from the comparisons from Brock Lesnar, because that's not what I was ever trying to do. I may have when I first started the Suplex Assassin, as may have been like I guess like a good base to start with or whatever, but I've been trying to move away from it more and more and more.
Yeah. I love it. No, that's well, I was gonna mention Brock a little, but not really as heavy as those first two. Because again, Taz and Angle definitely were like the main two. I kind of sort of also got a little bit of Chris Benoit vibes, like young Chris Benoit a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I feel like he might have went back and looked at like maybe WCW Chris Benoit, possibly WWE Chris Benoit a little bit too. But I was like, I get some of those, because I see where like a lot of the guys who are like how tall would you say you are? How tall?
5'11".
5'11". Okay, so I got those vibes where like I was like, okay, I can tell he's not like 6'3", 6'5", but I can tell he wrestles like he is. You know what I mean? Like, and I always love guys who are, because that's I'm about 5'11", 6 foot, borderline as well myself. So I can relate to that. And when I see guys like yourself, guys like Taz, guys like Angle, who didn't have to be the tallest of guys to go out there and just put on a clinic, and show you, hey, I can hang with the biggest, the bestest, smallest, all of that, and let you know, like, I'm legit, and we're gonna give
Mhm.
it to them. So it was dope to see your matches and see your style and see your psychology and how you work, and to hear that it's only been 3 years for you so far. That's scary, man,
Man,
because
I tell people, like, I feel like a lot of the kids that are out of my school, the A4,
mhm,
are gonna be like that. I mean, not everybody is, but I feel like a lot of the young cats coming up. I
mhm.
always tell people being trained by Aaron Fox is like getting the My Career Starter Pack or whatever. So you get those extra boosts to put
Yeah,
towards your attributes.
yeah,
So like, cause he like Fox doesn't waste your time with anything, bro. He like the first day, like he like I mean, he's gonna teach you the basics, but the first day you're in the ring doing rolls and stuff.
mhm,
Because he always told us like pro wrestling's not the physical aspect, especially if you're an athlete, the
mhm.
physical aspect of it is easy or whatever.
Yes,
The hardest thing about professional wrestling is all the in betweens, it's all the little things, all the facial expressions. It's
yeah,
getting your character over, knowing what you want your character to be. Like those
yeah,
are the hard things. And since I
yeah,
already had like the athletic background of wrestling and everything else that I've done,
mhm,
like all the physical stuff or whatever, as far as like bumping and rolling and all this stuff, that stuff is easy. The
mhm.
hardest thing for me really was like learning how to hit the ropes, because
Ah, yes.
them ropes is not sweet. It's
Come
not
on,
sweet. That
tell it
shit
to the
hurts.
people.
That shit hurts. Then you gotta hit it right. Like there's some guy like Fred Yehi can hit like the second rope or whatever and
Mhm,
do what he needs to do. How he still does that and doesn't hurt himself, because the way that he hits it is
mhm.
like it's almost like he's like leaning on like a wall or something or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And I've tried to do it. I'm like, that hurts. I need my whole back to touch it.
Yeah.
Um but like, yeah, taking bumps. I mean, definitely after a while, it you get used to it. But like
Mhm.
at first, oh my god, like my neck was so sore because you had to learn how to like tuck your fucking chin.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, you're just gonna hit the fucking mat.
Oh
But
man,
it's whew.
I love it, bro. And I'm so glad you brought that up. See, this is why I created this show. I created it for, yes, my wrestling fans, my wrestling marks that are true aces, true longtime veterans and know this in and out as fans. But I also made this show for those ones out there that we addressed in the intro there. All
Mm-hmm.
those guys who think wrestling is just some little made up this, that, or always predetermined. And I'm like, yeah, sure, outcome wise it may be, but what you don't understand is how physical this business really
Yo,
is.
yeah. Oh my
And I'm
god.
like, listen, all you got to do, and I tell people, I'm like, if you really don't believe me, step in the ring and just hit the ropes. Just run the ropes for about a solid 5-10 minutes. Trust me, that alone is just gonna wear you down. Let
Yeah.
alone taking a bump. You know what I mean?
Having to take a bump and then get back up and do it again, and you hit the ground again, and you got to get up and do it again. Yeah.
Come on,
It's,
brother. See, and that's why this is why I love when I talk to gentlemen like yourself who are in the indies and grinding it out, because you're still grinding it out and you
mm-hmm.
understand the true hardworking aspect of what this is. You know, because when you've been with guys who've done this for like 10, 20 plus years, like to them, that's like cake work now at this point. It's like, oh, well, you know, man, we've been doing this. It's just a matter of keeping the body in shape to still do it. But like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but when you guys are like you said, the up and comers, it's like y'all know from firsthand when you started this and how this goes. So it's wonderful to hear that. Thank you for bringing that up, brother. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate that. So let's talk about so what was your journey? How did you find yourself into the MLW space so quickly? What happened?
Man, I I gotta give some of the credit to COVID. A little bit. I gotta give
Oh,
some of the
okay.
credit to COVID.
Okay.
When the pandemic started, because so many places weren't running.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were a few places that were trying to run or whatever and like do it with like no fans.
Oh.
One of those places was Pro South Wrestling in Peterman, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was doing that, and I was there for a little bit until like they started to like kind of like open up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And a gentleman by the name of Scott Hensley was at the show. I initially thought he was watching from the stream, but he
Mm-hmm.
was actually at the show watching. And he messaged me the next day and was like, hey, like, I really like your style. I'd like for you to be in this tournament. It's called the Future Showcase. And so that was, I believe, October of 2020, I would like to say. And so I did that tournament or whatever. It was me versus Nolan Edward versus Jack Griffin. And we had, it was like a 7-minute like sprint, but it was a banger. And like one of the commentators that worked for IWTV, Dylan Hales, he really liked the match. But like that I think it was live. I think it was live or it was recorded, but whenever it aired, it like people were like, oh my God, this Alex Kane guy is the fucking truth. This guy's really cool. We really like this guy. So like that really started to like raise my stock. And then what really put me on the map was there was a show in Indiana called Paradigm Pro Wrestling, and they were doing their Paradigm Pro Grand Prix. I think the main event was Dan Severn and Matthew Justice. But Dan Severn did a seminar before that or whatever, so I went and did that. And it was kind of like, for me, it was kind of like a refresher course from like freestyle wrestling or whatever, but I ended up being one of the standouts of that seminar. So that got me a spot on the show the next day. And I wrestled that day. I wrestled Levi Everett. And it was a UWFI match, so it's a shoot style match. And I hit my finisher called the Mark of Kane to like put him out or whatever. And like from what I could see on Twitter, like afterward, because that show was actually live, was definitely live. It was like, he killed Levi, because the move looks sick as fuck. It's safe as fuck, but it looks sick as fuck. It looks like death.
It does.
So everybody, like my Twitter blew the fuck up from there, and from then on, it was off to the fucking races.
Oh man, see, and that's crazy because you're like, again, just putting you over with your suplex style. It's crazy with some of those that you come up with. Like some of those literally are ones I know I've never seen before. Because I always my favorite moveset in wrestling usually is the suplex style. I love seeing innovative suplexes, and when I see yours, I'm like, dang, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, I was like, dude, like you did one where it was like a reverse belly to belly. Like you had him in like a tombstone position, and you just like, I was like, whoa, I ain't never seen that suplex before. Like, you can do that?
I mean, that's not something I came up with. This guy named Dean Allmark, over in the UK, like he doesn't just like innovate suplex, he innovates wrestling, period. But he's really good. But I saw him do it to somebody, and I'm like, I'm doing that. I even told him I'm gonna do it. But he liked the comment. But yeah, with more back to like the MOW stuff. So somebody on Twitter kept like tagging Court and MOW, like, yo, you gotta check this Alex Kane guy out or whatever. And like anytime I see those, I'm like, okay, you tagged me in it, cool, great, awesome. Is anybody really gonna look at it? And I was like, probably not or whatever. I just went on about my day. And I was actually talking to Court last weekend, and he was like, yeah, the guy from Ireland that tagged you in that post, I went and looked up your stuff or whatever, and I was like, this guy's a star. We're getting this guy. So like, so whoever that guy is from Ireland, thank you for changing my life. Much love to you.
Wow.
But yeah, like I think it was like a few months after that, like they sent me an email or whatever. We got to talking, negotiating. I signed that weekend, and now we're here.
My boy, yo, shout out to the Overseas Love Ireland. You guys rock for that. Thank you for putting my boy on. And look at you now, man. rising star. I'd arguably say the fastest rising star right now in MLW. But hey, you never know, man. You never know. I know they've had the MJFs, and the Darby Allins, and of course there's that monster, that man from Contra. We already know Jonathan Fatu. We know. Believe me, we know what they can do. Okay, we know. But seeing you, my guy, like I feel like you're just yet another pillar that's about to, if they didn't already know how dope MLW is before you being a part of this roster, man, they about to know even now. Now, what I'm curious about is, how did the link up happen with you and MMA legend King Mo? Now, how did that come about?
So I signed, and like, Dan Lambert had some dealings within my contract or whatever. He got me a few things I can't talk about within my contract. He got me a few sweet deals. And with Dan Lambert and King Mo, having the relationship, Dan actually put me on with King Mo. And like when we met for the first time, we just clicked. Like the chemistry was there.
Yeah.
And we've been rocking it out ever since. So yeah, that's how that came about.
That is so dope. I mean, there's no better way to have a guy. I love how he comes out with the number cards and literally just puts you over that much more, just off of not even having to say much, just having to come out with those cards. Be like, hey, as soon as you throw the first suplex, boom, there's number one.
So boom, the number cards originally, it's so there's this business in Noonan, Georgia called LDI Printing and Signs. And when I first made my debut for Action Wrestling in Tyrone, Georgia, like they fell in love with me or whatever. So the next show they started printing out suplex counters, and they gave me that set that I have on MLW or whatever for me to like have for myself.
Yeah.
And so shout out to LDI Printing and Signs and Noonan. You guys are the best. So I was like, when I made my debut, I was like, I wonder if they'll let me like have these on TV or not. So I brought them or whatever, and I talked to the producer, and I was like, hell yeah, like I use these on the independents, whatever. Can I use these on the show? He's like, hell yeah, do whatever you want. I was like, okay, cool. Here, Mo, can you count off these suplexes? And like when he pulled out that first one, people were like, what the fuck? Place with nuts. I'm like, okay, we're keeping this.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's definitely like a cool like little aspect to have. Instead of because I mean like if I don't have them, people still count them off, but I think it's way cooler to just have the fucking cards.
Yeah.
I do at some indie shows like have like a box of like of printed counters, but it's kind of hard to get those on a plane and out to Philly. But I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, you'll get it figured out. Hey, listen, with the bigger and the better, I'm talking about, man, it's already over. You can tell it's already over. I mean, I see where they kind of have you like heelish right now a little bit,
bruh,
but like
Philly hates me. Like they hate me. And like I mean, cool, like I'm glad y'all do, but they hate your boy. It's crazy. Like
it is.
I think when I made my debut, like that was the only time I ever got cheered. That was it. Only time I ever got cheered. After I beat the shit out of Butt Heavy and fucking Warhorse.
They just started, I see.
Yeah.
And I watched, and those are two moments I saw, and I'm like, man, look. But what do we expect? It's Philadelphia. I mean, you know, I got family. Look, Philadelphia, if you're a fan and you're a listener, listen, all right. I'm naturally a baby face at heart. Okay, so if I say something that comes off a little heelish, don't do it. Don't boo me. Boo yourselves. Because understand, boo yourself. We talking about the same Philly that booed Santa Claus The same Philly that's basically booing Ben Simmons to death, but you have a right to do that one. I'm not mad at you for it. You got a right for that. But come on, you're a passionate city in all your sports, and y'all just boo anything that you see right and see fit. So they're not your natural fan base anyway. But we still got love for you, Philly. Appreciate it, because any reaction is better than no reaction, right? So thank you, Philly. Yeah. But man, so all in all, man, what? So you were always into wrestling just naturally off of being an athlete generally anyway. So like, were you dedicated to any specific promotions as a fan perspective, like growing up? Like, were you a WCW guy, an ECW guy, a WWE guy?
I was definitely WWE, because that's all I really knew when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd see TNA every now and again.
Okay, yeah.
Like TNA when they had like both the entrances on both sides.
Oh
TNA.
yes, at TNA, of course.
I would catch. I caught like FCW like once in a while.
Okay.
Deep South Wrestling. I like Deep South Wrestling a lot. I was only able to catch it like a few times.
Yeah.
But I liked what I saw. Who else? I honestly never saw WCW.
Wow. Oh
yeah,
man.
As a kid, I never saw WCW. So
goodness.
yeah, that was. Yeah. So now to think about that, it's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
But like I played like some of the WCW games or whatever. So
okay.
I guess.
Okay, that's cool enough. I
guess that's the redeeming. Like I was more like, I would watch professional wrestling as a kid, but I didn't necessarily understand it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Other than these guys look like superheroes, but like, and even like in like the modern era or whatever, these guys still look like superheroes. They're not super juiced up and jacked, but still.
Yeah.
But I was more into the video game side of things. That's like really like. That's like how I really connected with wrestling at first.
Yeah.
And then it was like seeing all the pyrotechnics. I was really into the pyrotechnics. And then it was the sets. So the very last thing that came was me getting into the actual wrestling portion of it.
Come on. Okay. I love that. That's a unique journey. I've never heard a journey quite like that. So I love the way you had that journey, man. Like, shout out to the gaming world, man, when it gets you into it like that. You know what I mean? So let me ask you, man, because we brothers, we both black men doing our thing right here in the wrestling community. So I have to ask you, my brother, how does it feel being a black man in wrestling today, where it's just flourishing for black wrestlers across all promotions, man? Like representation, we see Big E, as the WWE champion. We saw where Bobby Lashley, even before him, was WWE champion, and the fact that we got our first ever black man beating a black man for the WWE championship, and just all across the board in wrestling, just to see black stars doing the main event or being the champion or winning a Royal Rumble like a Bianca Belair, just doing different things, man. How do you feel being someone on the come up and being a rising star the way you are? How are you feeling?
It's definitely like super cool. Like I didn't like, yeah, everybody wants to be a star, but like when you like look kind of like at the pattern of professional wrestling, a lot of black people don't become like the stars. They don't become stars like a Seth Rollins or a Roman Reigns or whatever. It just doesn't happen. Right. They don't get the machine behind them. So like growing up, like before I started like my wrestling career, like I thought like, I want to do this, but do I really want to do this? Like I can see like how people that look like me are treated, and like it kind of discouraged me a little bit. But to now see that like people in general are starting to, like get behind, like or start to believe that like we're just as legitimate as these white people that they push all the time. And that's not a racist or racial thing or whatever. I mean, that's just the fucking truth. The professional wrestling, like, I think now it's becoming more integrated, but for the longest time, professional wrestling is a white man's mode of artistic expression. So to now, like, black wrestlers, like we have a hashtag black wrestlers draw, or black wrestling draws. J Rose, Seahawk, I can't remember the other girl's name or whatever, but they came up with that hashtag or whatever. They've gotten that hashtag trending on Twitter like 3 or 4, 5, 6 times or whatever, probably even more than that. But it's crazy, like, well, I wouldn't say crazy. It's awesome that, black people are doing what we always do or whatever, which is like create that avenue for ourselves, because no one else wants to open that avenue for us. So we've created this avenue for ourselves, and to be one of those athletes, one of those performers or whatever, that's kind of like at the front of it all is a blessing. It's definitely a blessing. And like to see like little black kids in the crowd, like, and they like light up. Like, I don't care if I'm babyface or heel. If a little black kid reaches out their hand and wants a fucking high five or something, they're getting that fucking high five.
Yes.
Or whatever. Yes. If they come up to me after the show and they want a picture, an autograph or something, they're getting that picture or autograph, and I'm not going to be an asshole to them, because like, I want to be that wrestler that I needed to see when I was a kid growing up. Or whatever. Like, I want to be that person that I wanted to be able to find and look up to. So yeah, like, this, it's a dream come true, really. I've had wrestlers say that they like, Joe Black put me over a few months ago when we wrestled, and he said that he I'm the kind of wrestler that he wants his son to look up to. He wants his son to, want to be like. And that's crazy, like, to think about. Like, and I hope that I can be that. I hope that little black kids can look up to me. Little kids in general, but little black kids can look up to me and be like, you know what, I want to be like that. I want to be like Alex Kane.
Yes, and I agree, man. Even with me doing this, what that I do on the media side of things right now, as I continue to progress with this and coming across brothers like yourself, to interview a guy like R-Truth over, and just talk to the black wrestlers. When I get to interview black wrestlers, it's always a different level of hit for me, you know what I mean? Because it's like, one, you're probably somebody I grew up watching, or I am currently watching, and to see you, and I can say I may not be a kid anymore, but still I am a fan, and I'm always a kid at heart. And a lot of times when I see you guys, it's literally, man, to speak to this person that's out there killing it, man, this is such a blessing, because like, man, you guys, I feel like those little black kids, man, when you see that, you're like, man, you're inspiring me to just keep going harder and keep showing this thing. I met Kurt Angle one time, and speaking of which, I met him one time, and I remember even telling him when I thought about, like, I was like, man, I want to get into business, but I don't know exactly how to do that just yet. And he was like, man, look, you're in Tennessee, you're in Memphis, man. This is like one of the greatest wrestling markets ever. You can really rise up and do it. But then even when he saw I was in school for media, he was like, man, honestly, we need more black people, in the media world. We need more faces like yourself to go out there and really like shine and like be a personality for people behind the scenes like that. And I'm like, man. And so it hits home even more now, because it's like, yo, this is more of an inspiration to just go out and keep pushing, and interviewing and talking to legends, rising stars, and in-betweeners who are currently just doing their thing. So, brother, thank you for what you're doing. And I know I can't wait to just see how much further you progress, because this is just year 3, and it's like, man, so when you're in that 10-year mark, 5-year mark, I can't wait to see the clinics you put on with a lot of people. And that's a good,
the thing I think about, like, what just popped in my head is like, I don't know. I don't know if I just don't see it, or if it doesn't really happen, but like, I don't see little girls dressing up to be Becky Lynch. I don't see little girls dressing up to be Charlotte Flair. I don't see little girls dressing up to be Trish Stratus. I don't see little girls dressing up to be the people that are normally pushed to the forefront of some of these industries. I do see little girls dressing up like Bianca Belair, Naomi, Sasha Banks.
Come on.
Jazz,
Yeah.
Jacqueline, like girl, like people, black people or whatever like that. So it's
Yeah.
like to I mean, Bianca Belair's a star, Naomi's a star, Sasha Banks is a fucking star.
Yeah.
And to have the little girls that look like them, I mean, they may not like they may not like I don't want to say what I want to say. That may not be the focus, but that's what's happening.
Come on.
They're inspiring an entire generation
Come
or
on.
whatever. And it's, I mean, yeah, they dress up like them as fucking Halloween costumes, but that's fucking dope as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I hope for the day that someone dresses up like me for Halloween. You know how awesome that would be?
Heck yeah.
So to inspire an entire generation of little girls or whatever, to see somebody that looks like them, like, I can do this. This can be me one day. Yeah. Like, that's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it, brother. And that's why I love seeing the progression of all of the black talents out there that are doing their thing. And I used to say African American, but shout out to the Pope, you know, Elijah Burke, man, because he actually put me on and off. Was it? No, it was on. Yeah, it was on air. And it's just like, no. You're black, my friend. You're black. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you go overseas, they're not going to call you African American, call you black. All right? So you're black. Yep. So I said, okay, black. Because I used to be kind of thinking I was being more offensive by saying black, you know? And then I was like, but I realized, no, there's nothing wrong with saying black. We're black people, black wrestlers, black personalities, black style, black culture, everything. And it's a beautiful thing, man. So I salute you for what you're doing. And I salute those who are already looking up to you, wanting to be what you're becoming and what you're going to be even more beyond there. So I got to ask you this, my friend.
What's up?
Who, give me, if you can give me five, your top five right now, dream matches. And it could be from any level that you want to have right now.
Lee Moriarty.
Okay.
Daniel Garcia.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Daniel Makabe.
Ooh, all right.
Well, I had two more. No, I already wrestled him. Darius Lockhart and Darius Carter.
Ooh, I like those. I like those.
Allfather and Revolutionary. Definitely want those two.
Oh my gosh, those are some real good ones, man. You know who I was thinking personally off the top?
Oh, I'm gonna add 6. Trish Adora.
Ooh! Hey, shout out to my girl Trish, man. We had her on the show as well. Hey, a lot of people don't know. If y'all didn't know already, man, that is your boy on the theme song for Trish Adora that she did at Ring of Honor. So, you know, I just want to shout that out to the listeners out there, just in case y'all didn't know that news. Yes, your boy was the entrance song for your girl. But shout out to Trish Adora, man. She is so amazing. We're going to get her back on the show down the line for sure and chop it up with her. But that's a good one. That is, hey, shout out to the ladies, because the intergender wrestling is another thing that is so dope to see. I used to kind of at first be like, you know, on it, but as I really saw the trend of it, especially when they take the power, like people who have similar styles and put them in there like that, then it's like, okay, that's if you make it look believable enough, but then
so I've heard people say, oh, it's not believable. The people that say that it's not believable are the same people that have never been to an amateur wrestling tournament, who have never girls be out there, because I mean with amateur wrestling you can do everything else but punch or choke somebody out or whatever. So then that comes down to skill and ability. And girls be out there wrecking dudes or whatever. And sometimes it's because that dude is being mad disrespectful and doesn't want to treat her like a competitor. But other times the girl is just better. It's just better or whatever. Just out there wrecking people.
Okay.
So like when people say, oh, intergender wrestling isn't believable, I'm like, you've never watched real sports. You've never watched real sports. I guarantee you Ronda Rousey, Paige Van Zandt, fucking Shayna Baszler, Holly Holm would beat the shit out of most grown men.
That's true. That is true. That's a good fact. And shout out to Jordan Grace, another person we've had on the show, because I believe I talked with her about this subject too. And I think she even brought up the analogy of even in ring. I mean, shout out to one of the greatest little men of all time, Rey Mysterio. How many times have we seen Rey Mysterio go up against a Mark Henry, a Great Khali, a Big Show, The Undertaker, Kane, people who were like twice his size, and you say, oh, that's not believable, but I mean, he made it very much believable.
I think where we, and I hope we get away from it, but it's like, just it doesn't. I don't care how tall you are. I don't give a shit how tall you are or whatever. And wrestling, height is everything. But like, I don't give a fuck how tall you are. If you're more jacked than I, like, you're more muscular than I am. I mean, muscular doesn't equal you can fight, but like that's more of a comparison to like, oh, this guy's smaller in stature, this guy's bigger in stature as far as muscles go, or whatever. But just because somebody's tall don't mean shit. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You cut out their base and go on about your business.
This is true.
So like, I do hope we get away from this whole, like, height is cool as far as like the aesthetic of height is cool, but like trying to like tell me that because this person's taller than me, they're stronger than me is trash.
Come on.
It's trash.
I love that analogy. See, man, and this is why we have indie wrestlers come onto the show, because you guys are giving what's already been showcased all around, because we know how the bigger company, does. You guys know what company we refer to when we say that. Where, we'll get into that, because I got a little babyface heel segment, and we'll get into that where I ask you about that a little bit. But we see where a company's going back to their roots on some things with that, and it's just like, okay, but you see in the indies on down, AEW gets the picture. They see, they're definitely doing what they have to do, because they're catering to what the fans love, professional wrestling. And if that means doing some intergender, doing some trios matches, doing some, whatever, they're bringing you a little bit of everything on what's popping on the indie scene. And that alone is just, thank you for schooling everybody on that aspect. So y'all already heard it here. Y'all know what it is. Hey, take it up with Alex Kane if you want to debate, my friend, because
take it over.
He don't just want all the work. You gonna get all this work and all the smoke verbally on what schooling and the world of the wrestling. That being said, brother, I'm gonna transition. Now that we got that, I'm gonna go ahead and transition to one of my favorite segments, which we call Babyface or Heel. This is a quick little run through where I give you a scenario, being a man who's in the ring, again, Philly kind of looks at you like a heelish character right now, but I'm sure you see where naturally you are kind of a babyface kind of guy. So this is where I say, okay, well, real quick, give you a couple scenarios and you just decide if you're going to go babyface on it or if you're going to go heel on it. All right, ready?
Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, we know you an Atlanta native, my friend, and I know you see it in the back. So I gotta ask, brother, babyface or heel that Atlanta finally brought a winning aspect culture back to the city after 20 plus years?
Babyface, definitely. That's amazing. I feel like I really lifted this. I guess it's weird to say that a sports win lifts the spirits of the city, but I feel like that sports win really did lift the spirits of the city.
Yeah.
It made people more confident again in the Atlanta sports history, which is awesome. So definitely babyface on that.
Babyface. I love it, man. Again, congratulations to the Braves. Congratulations to the city of Atlanta. Y'all definitely deserved it. We did it, Atlanta. We here. Okay, so I'm gonna go babyface or heel for you on this subject matter with WWE and all of these releases that's been going on as of late. As well, and I'm not just gonna throw WWE into this, but I'm gonna throw Ring of Honor into this as well. With what they've recently had to do, releasing talent and kind of having to start over on some things. What are you gonna go babyface or heel on the aspect of what's going on in the world of wrestling?
I'm gonna have to go tweener on that.
Okay.
And Ring of Honor, they kept all of their talent paid throughout the pandemic or whatever. I think their biggest mistake was running empty arena shows. A lot of their shows didn't have fans and stuff. And like it takes a lot of money to put on the production that they have. So I'm going to go tweener on that. That was them doing the M3 Arena shows or whatever. I know everybody's trying to be safe, but I just think the M3 Arena shows with all of the production that they had was stupid. And they probably should have went with a lower production on that or whatever, just to save themselves some money and so they could stay afloat for a little bit longer. I have seen some stuff out there with them working with what is it? I think it's WoW or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I hope some of that drama shit isn't true. It's just people just talking on the internet. Because if it is, then I'm about to go heal on them.
Okay.
But with WWE, they're $1 billion corporations. That's what $1 billion corporations do, or whatever. Everybody that's signed there, I mean, yeah, we love a lot of them or whatever, but to them, they're just a number. And you know, if they're also investments. Each person that they sign is an investment. And if you don't feel like you're going to get you don't feel like you're going to get a full return on your investment, you're going to cut it. You're going to cut your losses. And yes, that's somebody's job, but again, them being a corporation, at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about that shit or whatever. They're focused on profits and their bottom line. So with all of their releases, I like the more you kind of read into it, it makes sense for them. With them releasing all this talent because they're trying to create they're trying to do the homegrown star thing again or whatever. And I hope that they're successful with that or whatever, because like I mean, I have friends that work there. And I mean, even if they're not my friend, like I still want to see all of them. Like I don't see them lose their job or anything like that. Right. But like, so they're trying to do the homegrown talent thing. And if they're telling you to like, okay, this is what we want from you. Like with Keith Lee is athletic as fuck. He's talented. But I don't see Keith Lee as like this killer monster big man or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like with the Bearcat thing, I think that's what they were trying to go, but I just don't think that's him. Yeah. And like, I wouldn't want him to do some shit or whatever and him not be like completely comfortable with it. So they cut him or whatever, and a lot of people that they cut were old. They're like in their 30s or whatever. Like, and to invest in a talent, like a lot of their shit is like over like 10 years or whatever. Like when Roman Reigns started, I think he was like 20 something.
Yeah,
I think like late 20s. And I think now we're at like the 10, 11 year mark or whatever of Roman Reigns' career. They got back their investment or whatever. That's a 10-year investment. Absolutely. I don't know if you can put in a 10-year investment on somebody who's 35. And because you don't know if they're going to get injured. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't have that time or whatever to put that investment in. So instead of hanging on to them and making it to where, you know, they're just sitting on the shelf somewhere, because there's a lot of talent in WWE and not everybody's on TV, not everybody's on NXT. So a lot of people are just sitting around collecting dust or whatever, because it's not like, I mean, I hope that they're they're doing like live shows again. I hope that they're doing that. But if they're not doing that, then they're just kind of like chilling. They go to practice, but they're just chilling. They're not wrestling. So I would rather, yes, it sucks for them to get released, but I'd rather them get released because they're gonna make their money. Like they now have WWE on their resume. They're gonna make their money. So I would rather them have not just been sitting on the shelf and actually being able to be released, and then like, you know, like settle their shit or whatever, but actually get back out here or whatever and make their money. Because at the end of the day, that's what this shit is about. Making fucking from a performer standpoint, it's about making money.
Love it. Awesome, amazing answer. Normally, it's funny. I do get those tweener ones from time to time, and I allow one tweener per Babyface or Heel segment because sometimes there is a subject you gotta go a little tweener with. So I allow one per segment. So I'm gonna ask this final question on this segment, and I'm gonna say, I heard you mention wrestling games, my friend, and how it got you into the wrestling community. So I'm gonna ask, babyface or heel, on how wrestling games have been over the last few years?
Heel. Wrestling games have been trash. They've been absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. And it's not like these game I mean, I don't know how hard game developing is. I assume it's pretty fucking difficult. But the fact that you have all of what wrestling games could be. The whole SmackDown versus Raw series was fucking fire. The SmackDown series was fire, or whatever. So you have these blueprints of what a wrestling game could and should be, but you keep trying to do something else, like with 2K and this my career nonsense. It's never a my career. Even for the NBA games, it's never really a my career. It's like the story is like 6 hours long or whatever. And then after you get rid of the story, like you may get a few cutscenes here and there, but other than that, it's just monotonously playing NBA games, trying to build up your stats, and trying to like get into the Hall of Fame. And like with the NBA games or whatever, with the whole park thing, you get to if you get your badge high enough or whatever, you get enshrined in the next game, which is cool, but it's also lame as shit. When it should be like, if you're gonna do anything, do a season mode. Stop with this career mode shit if it's not gonna be a fucking career or whatever. Just do a fucking season mode. I don't know why SmackDown Shut Your Mouth does not get enough credit as far as wrestling games go. People always say Here Comes the Pain. Here Comes the Pain is cool, but I feel like their season mode is like mad short, and there's not enough in it. But fucking Shut Your Mouth is, if you start with a created superstar, you start off on Heat, you do a few weeks of that, and then you get put on whatever the main show is. And then almost every character that you can play with in the story mode, I mean, in the season mode, they all, not every single one, but most of them have like their own unique story. Steve Austin has his own unique story. Taker has his own unique story. Triple H has his own unique story. So, like, and you actually have choice in what happens. You can challenge for belts whenever you want to, and there's a small little storyline that happens when you challenge that belt.
Oh my god! Come on, brother.
Fucking No Mercy in WrestleMania 2000. I mean, No Mercy is just that game's difficult, but it's fun. It's difficult, but it's fun. But even that game has in-depth storytelling, in-depth storylines. Do I like that some of the things I do like that it's like a traditional video game where, like, if they give you an objective and you don't hit that objective, then you have to go back and do it again. I do like that. But I believe in that game you still actually have a choice into what you do. And there's different routes to take, there's different stories to tell. WrestleMania 2000 is the same way. So these game developers have the blueprint for what makes a good game, but y'all keep trying to do this other stuff over here, which is sorry, I'm rambling.
Oh, you're good.
Which is literally not even changing the game. They don't even change the game year to year. They keep the same game. They may add a superstar to. They may add or take away a game mode, but essentially it is the same game. The fact that they haven't gotten the wrestling entrances like right, like with one of the, I think was it 2020 or whatever. You see how the set is. You see how the set is. People are still coming out of the fucking Minitron thing or whatever. You can't even make the animation where they actually walk out of the curtain and then come to the stage. Like, come on now, want. And then they're always expensive. Like, they never go down in fucking value. They're always $60. I'm not paying $60 for the same game you gave me last year.
Exactly. Come on, man. I'm telling you, brother, that is the perfect way to go heel. That's why I saved that one for last, because I agree. We all agree. We hear you. Us true wrestling fans that remember all of these we've dealt with some bad wrestling games over the years before. But the way these 2Ks...
I like virtual basement. Well, I guess I like the idea that they're coming out with, but I hope it's just not just like a wrestling game as far as, oh, we have your favorite characters in here or whatever, and you can just wrestle matches. Like, I play wrestling games for the story mode, the career mode. That's what I play wrestling games for.
Yes.
I don't play for any other reason. I'm not trying to play with my friends, wrestle in matches. I don't care. I'm not trying to wrestle. I'm not trying to play online. I want to create a superstar and take him through whatever league, whatever show, whatever the story is of being a superstar or whatever. And I also feel like they could add some nuance to it. Like not just because you do the career mode or whatever doesn't mean that you're gonna be the star of the show. Doesn't mean you're gonna be WWE champion or whatever. Like make it nuanced. So everybody becomes WWE champion. Maybe you're Intercontinental champion. Maybe you're tag team champion. But like I feel like every wrestling game, the whole plot of the entire thing is becoming WWE champion, but I don't think that's always how it has to be. And I feel like if you have that nuance in there or whatever, there's the replayability, because that's what a lot of wrestling games are missing. That's what most of the 2K games are missing is replayability. Like I have a PS2. I might even play SmackDown Shut Your Mouth today. But I can go in and play SmackDown Shut Your Mouth today and still be entertained. Start it from the beginning and go to the end and still be entertained.
Still be entertained. Come on, man. I agree. And you know what? That's always been my favorite, because I totally agree. Shut Your Mouth doesn't get the credit it deserves, because that's the one I remember the most. Like, I played Here Comes the Pain. I liked Here Comes the Pain because it definitely arguably had the best roster at the time, per se, even though Shut Your Mouth had a pretty good roster too. But you know, I get it. You know, it was that phase when you had all the WCW people. It was like, okay, Here Comes the Pain got the best roster, arguably. But at the end of the day, like you said, gameplay, mechanics, storyline, all of that.
Man,
Shut Your Mouth.
The fact that, like, you would think that the creation suite over the years would get better, but it's gradually just gotten worse. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, or whatever. Like, I understand the whole thing with like not being able to have like custom music in there because of copyright issues. That's why I liked Raw 2 on the Xbox or whatever.
Oh yes,
because you could you had your music on your Xbox or whatever, and then you could
play it,
put it in the game.
Yeah.
Raw 2 was fun. I wish that it mechanically it worked better, but it was dope. Like there, like there was no audio to that game or whatever if you played the season mode, but like you could do different things. It wasn't just, you wrestle this match. You could interfere, and you can go to try to interfere in somebody's match. And sometimes you get in, sometimes you don't. You could steal stuff from people. You could go and complain to people. You could attack people. You could try to booby trap people. But there was always something cool that you could do.
I love it.
I feel like that could be remastered. That could be a game within itself. That game was fun.
I agree, man. Those were some of my favorites. And I'll tell you another one that people kind of slept on, probably because the gameplay wasn't the greatest. But the Impact TNA wrestling game.
Never played it.
Man, let me tell you the story of that alone, because they took a real life character in Suicide and they took his real life character, they put it in the game. He was actually the game character before he became the real life character, but he was in the game. He had the outfit. He gets jumped backstage after a match because he didn't do something that he was supposedly supposed to do. Gets jumped, gets beat up, and he has to, he can't remember much, and he has to start all the way from the bottom again. So they got you like working in Mexico. They got you working a little bit of everywhere, and you got to build your way back up till you get to the moment of being back in Impact. And when you get there, then he starts to remember some stuff, and he's like, wait a minute. And then it's like a full revenge story in a way, but it's so cool. And like, at the end of the day, man, they put you through all the obstacles, make you face all kind of stuff. They didn't probably, compared to a Shut Your Mouth, it may not have been the same thing, but it was still a pretty dope story-driven game, for the story mode purpose of things.
I think all the Day of Reckoning games were really, really good as far as story goes.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like WrestleMania 21 could have been done better. I feel like they kind of rushed it. Because the graphics were really, really cool, but like everything else is kind of shit.
Yeah,
there was one WrestleMania game that I to this day still don't understand. What game was it? Was it was on GameCube.
18. WrestleMania 18, or was it One of them, I know they had an 18. They had a WrestleMania 18 game.
I think it might have been 18.
Because I don't know if
because there was one on there or whatever. I think it might have been if they had a 17. No, it might have been 17. It might have been 17. Where there was really no rhyme or reason to why the game was going on or whatever. You just play matches, or you could like play through these massive trees of people to get to various championships.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them weren't even WWE championships; they were just championships.
They're just championships.
But there was another one on GameCube where you're not even like wrestling matches in a ring. You're like you're fighting construction workers.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, what was it?
I gotta remember that. I gotta get me a GameCube. I never really got to play a lot of the wrestling games on GameCube. I did play Dead Reckoning because I knew somebody with a GameCube that had that game, and I loved it. But I'm really gonna have to go invest and get me a GameCube so I can play those wrestling games because they were fun just as much as SmackDown versus Raw. Same mechanics, same gaming developer, THQ. We need you back, THQ. We need
definitely. We definitely need THQ back. It was Wrestle whatever. What is this? What is XIX?
19. That's 19.
19. That game was trash.
Wow. Okay. So 18, I do remember 18 being a good one. So I thought there was a 19. That's what I couldn't remember. I was like, 19 was the one.
Well, I think the story was you're fighting through these construction sites or whatever to finally get to like WWE Tower and like stop Vince McMahon from doing some stupid shit.
Wow.
It's like, what are we doing here?
That sounds like a Vince McMahon-led storyline. So that's probably what that is. Pretty out of touch. But hey, it is what it is. Hey, Vince, if you hear it, man, if you come across it, look, I love you, Vince. I mean, hey, sign your boy if you have to. Budget cuts or not. Sign your boy if you have to. But, I just had to call it as it is, man. We a fan. This is what we say. But all in all, man, Alex, dog, you were the man. Definitely not gonna hold you long, but I got one last thing for you before we let you go, my friend. And I think I need a little assistance here. Let me get the belt back real quick because I need to call upon the Suplex Assassin for a second. If you can channel him for me really quickly. I have to ask because he has a certain set of gold he's chasing, and this is Champion's Corner right here. So I need to hear from the Suplex Assassin on why he's coming for this gold, why he has to have this gold. Why is it that the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane, has to give everybody all this work to ultimately get the gold? Talk to him.
So are we talking about the gold that is currently over your shoulder? Or are we talking about the match that I have coming up with MLW, the 5-way ladder match?
I see what you did there. That's good. That's good. Okay, so not this gold. This. Hey man, I do welcome all comers, but
I'd gladly drop you on your dome and take your belt.
I'm a representative, my brother, and I will gladly take you up on that offer someday soon. But not this gold. Not today.
Not that gold. Okay.
This goes here for a while. I'm talking about your upcoming match with MLW. Why is the Suplex Assassin coming for that gold?
I'm coming for the gold because I am the rising star in MLW. And to get to the pinnacle of MLW, I've got to scoop up that national openweight title. You see, Hammerstone won the national openweight title, took him to the moon. It took him to the dance with Jacob Fatu. So me winning, there's no if I'm gonna win it. I'm going to win it, and when I do, I will be gunning. Well, actually, let me say this: once I get finished with Chump Calvin Tankman or whatever, and get him put away, I'm coming for the top. I'm coming for Mr. Alexander Hammerstone, and I will be taking that world title off your waist. You may not even have a long reign. My reign. No, you definitely won't have a long reign. I'm definitely coming for the gold, homie.
I love it.
You're gonna get all of this work. Let's just say that.
All of this work. Okay. Talk your stuff, King. Talk your stuff. I feel you. See, this is Champions Corner, and this is where we allow people who going for that gold, or maybe you got the gold. Either way, we are opening it up right now, the flow, for you to talk your stuff, because we know that next time we have you on this show, it's quite possible. Now bump that. Guaranteed. I'm going to say it Charles Barkley style. Guaranteed that my boy coming for that gold, Alex Kane, is about to be your next champ. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, it will be an unstoppable, undeniable, undefeatable Morris Brown style, baby, type reign for my boy, Alex Kane. Y'all see how that rhymed? I wasn't even trying. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even trying. But, ladies and gentlemen, hey, listen, that about does it. We thank you so much, man. Look, Alex Kane, you are a phenomenal brother. You are like family now at this point, man. Everybody that comes on the show, they family, brother. And look, man, you are amazing. You got a dope mind. And at the end of the day, man, thank you so much for coming on, joining us, man. By all means, to the people who got to know you today, and they probably want to know, where can I follow this guy? Tell the people. You
can follow me on Twitter at Alex_Kane11. On Instagram at the Suplex Assassin.
Come on.
TikTok at the Suplex Assassin 1. I am funny. I'm hilarious. I just opened a Brainbuster Tees store. I still got to put like some designs and stuff on there. Okay. I'm still on Pro Wrestling Tees. I guess for as long as that goes.
Okay.
But we'll see. But where else am I? You can check me out on YouTube. Just type in Alex Kane or Alex Kane Wrestler. I don't know how that works. There's a musician named Alex Kane.
Yeah, I looked at. I realized
there's a few politicians. It's weird, or journalists.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check me out on all of those. I definitely appreciate the support. If you're a worker and you're listening to this, you follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. I pretty much follow everybody back on Instagram unless you're weird. So yeah.
Come on. Let the people know. Come see him. You already know, but be warned. You're stepping into the dome of the Suplex Assassin. So in every word, you know what to expect from all angles.
The Suplex Dome.
Come on,
the Suplex Dome. Sweats itself. It bites itself.
They keep on coming. I'm telling you, they keep on coming out the dome. Listen, man, anytime you need it, I got you, dog. I got you. This is what I do, baby. This is what I do. But all in all, man, hey, thank y'all so much again for y'all support, man. Look, we on the road to 100 episodes. We already overcame 50. So now we on the road to 100, baby. And as we go up, 100 gonna come 500, 500 gonna come 1K. And y'all already know, man, listen, when we get to 1K, I'm gonna do something real special for y'all on that one. But at the end of the day, man, thank y'all so much for always rocking with your boy. I appreciate y'all's support. Merch will come down the line. You know, I'm gonna talk to maybe my guy off there about that Pro Wrestling Tees thing. I don't know. Maybe they can help your guy out or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out on the merch side of things for y'all. So y'all that support me, man, we'll get y'all some merch for likes of Botch. You know, maybe some belts. We'll see. I don't know. But in the meantime, follow all things Life's a Botch. We are also on TikTok. We are also on Instagram. Not quite on Twitter just yet. You have to follow
my Twitter. That's what wrestling is.
It is.
If you are a worker in this day and age and you are not on Twitter and you're not active on Twitter, you are doing yourself a disservice.
This is true.
Period.
Now I am on Twitter, but my Life's a Botch brand isn't. That is me as an artist. So I kind of do a blend of both. I talk my wrestling there, but I also have my artistry side on there. So I'm gonna separate. It's trying to build it up again, is that's the problem, is trying to rebuild my Twitter side. But you know what? You're right. You know what? I am going to separate the two now. The artistry is going to have its own Twitter, and I'm going to make a Twitter just for you guys on Twitter. So you better make sure you're following, guys, when I tell y'all it's on there. Follow your boy on Twitter, because you already know what it's going to be. Life's a Botch podcast. That being said, though, thank y'all so much, man. Alex Kane, thank you so much again, brother. It was fun having you. And yeah, y'all know how we do. This is the part where I say, everybody, I need you to put up them 2 sweet signs with me, baby, and I need you to say 2 sweet.
Sweet.
Let's go. We out here, y'all. God bless.